superintendent said, "You leave the management stuff to us, will you? And just go on back to your classroom." So I was quite discouraged about that because Dr. Deming said change has to start from the top. See? And well, I tried to get the top involved. In fact, I kept trying to get the top involved. My principal and my superintendent, I put articles in their boxes and videotapes, and at staff meetings, every chance I got, I'd try to tell them what a bad job they were doing. And it was just really amazing how they didn't get excited about that, really at all. So that went on for quite a while until one day I went back in my classroom and I looked at this group of kids that I had, about 30 people in that classroom. About half of them were asleep. The other half didn't really seem to want to care much about what was happening. About 10% of them actually wanted to do something. And I looked at these people and I thought, I must be the top of something around here. And maybe that's what Deming's talking about. If change has to start from the top, that means me. So it's really easy to come to one of these things and hear people talk about Dr. Deming and realize that these are management theories and you're learning management theory, and boy, someday I'm going to apply these things. Okay? The someday is right now. You are the top of your system. Change your thinking, change your processes, you change your system. Okay? As soon as you start to modify your system, you're going to have an effect on the larger system, the way you organize, the way you manage what you do every day, how you process the work that you're doing. Okay? This is the time to start practicing what you're hearing. Don't think about, oh, someday I'm going to do this. See? That's the big fallacy when people go to management training and things like that. They say, okay, well, when I get back, I'm going to do some of this. Or I'll hear often people in education say things like, well, I'm in the middle of the school year, and I don't really want to start now, so I'm going to wait till next fall to start this. And you know what? Never happens. They'd never start. Okay? So yesterday in our seminar, I was explaining to people my award-winning flowchart for how to begin this process. So you write this down if you want to. Take notes on this. It's award-winning stuff. I'm waiting for my Academy Award or something, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, first box in the process is start. Got that? Now you draw down a little arrow down to the second box, and the second box is don't stop. And that's not even the revolutionary part of it, okay? So what you have to do is you have to draw an arrow from the second box back up to the first box and realize that's a loop. It's a process over time, see? So where do you start? You start right now, and you start thinking about what can I do? How do I manage things? How do I work with my supervisors to change the system, okay? To get a different result? Deming's message is really about transformation. Are you transforming the way you think, how you look at your situation? Are you learning to apply management techniques with the people around you? Not for the purposes of manipulation, but can I form groups of study and ways to think about issues and what we do? See, there's a little known secret, for those of you that are students. As teachers and professors, we really don't want you to know this. You have a huge amount of power in changing the system. Because Dr. Deming said your source of power comes from primarily three sources. The first source is your formal position. As a student, you don't have a lot of formal position. You just can't walk into a professor's class the next day and just say, you're really screwed up and let's change this. It's just not going to work out well for you. Second source of power is knowledge. Third source of power is personality. You may have worked with people in the past, very knowledgeable people, extremely brilliant people have no personality. They can't get anything done because you can't work with them. Or you may have worked with people in the past. This is a great guy to be around. Or, boy, she's just really fun to be around, everything else, but they're just clueless. They have no knowledge. See? Or you may have somebody in a formal position. They have no knowledge and personality. They got a real problem there. You see? So managing with those three, pretty amazing how you think about that. And Deming often said, hey, you want to affect change? Don't use your formal position. That's the least effective methodology for changing the situation. So as a student, you think about, okay, well, I don't have a formal position here, but I can gain knowledge, and I can use my personality as a way to affect the situation. Does that make sense? I started explaining these things to high school students. It was very quickly, I had other teachers coming to me and saying, you're teaching these kids to be insubordinate. I said, why is that? Because they're asking me questions in my class like, why are we doing this? This is a big waste of time. Can't we be more involved in making decisions here? See? And so people saw that as insubordinate.